Have you ever been bullied? I was. Often as a kid, often as a person of color, and even sometimes when I was an adult. And I want to share a couple stories with the 7 stories, 7 lessons about bullying, because I think bullying is something that most of us deal with, whether we are the bully or we've been bullied. When I was 5 years old, there was a boy named Douglas, and because of the way I looked, he would yell to all the other kids at the playground, "Fire rocks!" And they would all throw rocks at me. Sometimes they hit me, sometimes they didn't. But there was a boy named Mark who was my best friend, and he was the toughest 5-year-old on the street. Now, 5-year-old, yeah, but in the peer group, he was the toughest. And he would step in front of everyone and yell, "Stop!" And they all stopped. When I was 8 years old, there was a boy named Guy who was about 3 or 4 years older than us. And me and my friend Raju, he would pick on us and bully us all the time. And one time he was pushing us around and throwing our backpacks all over the place. And these 2 girls from a higher grade, I think like grade 6 or 7, they were like 12 or 13. They went to him and they yelled at him. They stopped them. They said, "You know what? Don't you ever let me see you hurting these boys again." And he stopped. Then when I was an adult, I was working for an organization and a job that I really loved, and on a contract basis. And the leader of this organization started bullying me in terms of a complaint that I had made, and offered no transparency, threw in a bunch of lawyers, and wouldn't talk, would hide things from everybody, and it was just a very unfair, horrible situation. And I felt bullied. I felt like I had no recourse. I felt bullied when I was pushed around to not be able to make me go away and to stop talking. And the two of my directors, as well as 4 of my team members, quit and resigned in protest. And so I appreciate that, and that actually made me feel better. But yeah, the damage was done. And then on social media, a couple years ago, there was a person I know who I met at events, started bullying me and harassing me on Facebook about everything, about myself, my business, my religion, my family, my mom, like just saying all these horrible, horrible things. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why he was doing it. And I kept trying to reach out with empathy and try to understand. And we know each other, and why would you say these things in public? I don't understand. And then soon, a group of 12 of my friends said, they sent me individual messages and said, "Bobby, this guy is harassing you. He's bullying you. You need to stop, okay? You're too important for this. We love you. Please don't let this person hurt you anymore." And I finally got the message, because I didn't realize I was being bullied, because that bullying was so subtle. And I didn't understand it. And it was great, because those people stood up for me, and I blocked this person, I deleted that person, and I let it go. And the whole lesson here is that, bullying certainly happens, but the more important thing is stand up and be an ally as much as you can. We see bullying all the time now. We see it on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. We see bullying in person. We see bullying in the workplace. The workplace ones are hard because, you see people in a position of authority, because you're like, how could you make someone like me, this big guy like myself, get upset and be bullied? Well, all it takes is authority and power to oppress someone else and make them feel bullied. And when I see people who cry because their boss was super mean and said horrible things, that's not what should happen in the workplace. And it's a major issue with toxicity and with bullying in the workplace, as well as on social media. And so I share this story because the most important lesson here is you need to stand up and be an ally. If you see your friends being bullied, stand up and say something. If you see people being bullied in the workplace, stand up, speak up, and say something. Because most people who are being bullied or people who are oppressed need people on the other side or who are colleagues to help them out and support them. So I implore everyone to get out there and be more mindful of this and stand up, because if you do stand up and you do speak out and you do call it out, you will be appreciated. You will never be forgotten, because I don't forget Mark, I don't forget those 2 girls, and I don't forget the other people that helped me out in those situations. All right, so that's my lesson for today. Have you ever been bullied? If so, comment below. If you haven't, have you ever stood up for someone who's been bullied? Comment below. If you haven't done either of those things, comment below anyways. Let me know what you think about this talk and this story. It's part of the 7 stories, 7 lessons. This is lesson number 2. All right, I'll see you guys later. Take care.